This is a slide I really want us to use for reflection. So this slide is significant of this slide. It brings me to one of my favorite places, and that is a place of self-reflection. I am of the personal opinion, I teach effective practice, and I'm very, very big on it. I'm of the personal opinion that most of us, or many of us as educators, we do not engage in reflection enough. We don't engage in reflection to impact our practice enough. And so I put this continuum here, just to ask you, not to answer this question, but to reflect as you continue this course. Where am I? Where am I on issues? Where am I on social issues in our school? Where am I on policy issues? Where are you? Because I'm going to tell you something, why it's important. Because who you are is going to impact how you view and how you practice these policies. Let me repeat that. Who you are is going to impact and influence how you view social issues in school, how you prioritize social issues in school, and how you impact policies. There are principals who are doing A, and there are principals who are doing Z. That's how wide the continuum is. They are on the same issues within school. There are leaders, there are administrators, there are principals who are doing A, and there are principals who are doing Z. Two separate ends of the continuum. And of course, there are principals sprinkled in between. So I want you to center your thoughts on that. That's what I want you to do. Center your thoughts a little bit on who you are. We're going to talk about this later on also. Who you are, your values, your belief systems, how you identify it. Those things impact how you view policies, and there's no getting around it. I like to see when people come into a room as a principal and they believe, oh, what I believe has nothing to do with the school. Absolutely rubbish. You know, a lot of people are talking about Donald Trump and his old shithole comment the other day. For me, the comment wasn't even the biggest issue. My issue is this person has a pen. And if you have ever been a part of policies, you and I know you walk into a meeting with a 15-page document, and you walk into a meeting with 7 things we need to do on the action list. And after 3 hours, you walk out of that meeting with crossing out 4 of those 7. Think for a minute, what kind of interaction happens in a room to delete or to eliminate 3 things from the action item and to make it 4. Think for a minute. And I'm going to tell you this. The persons at the table in that room, they are the ones who decide what stayed on the list and what got deleted. I want you to take that in for a minute. The persons around the policy table were the ones at the start of the meeting, at the end of the meeting, that impacted and decided of the 7 action items, which are the 4 we're going to focus on. So that's why I'm very, very, very major on persons, especially you as educational leaders, to center yourself, to understand yourself and who you are, your value system, your belief system, how you identify, and to know how these things will impact your advocacy work, your leadership style, and also ultimately impact how you view and how you execute policies. What is important to you, you will make important to your staff, and you will make important to the school. Absolutely. So sometimes we forget that people impact policy. We like to jump into the policy, and we forget the persons who impact the policies. So this is my question to you before we are wrapping up, actually. We're actually wrapping up. This is my question to you. Are your personal views in conflict with your professional views? What is it that you believe? Because many persons think they are so dynamic at separating the two, but they don't realize that they don't separate the two. It shows in your iron practices. It shows in your advocacy work. It shows in what happens in your school. You go to certain schools and you can literally know who's the principal based on certain things happening, because you see that person's common thread. You see the energy in the building. You see if the school believes in certain things. It runs throughout the staff, especially if that principal is charismatic and can influence the following, which of course are the teachers. So your views are impacted by who you are. You are your views. You hold those views. You live and abide by those views. Those very views will allow you to examine educational policies with a certain lens and a particular critical perspective. Many of us, we enter the dialogue with dominant views, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Many of us, for this course, we are going to enter each dialogue, each conversation with our dominant views. But those views have allowed you to either create access and pathways and avenues as an educational leader, or have they caused you to exclude, deny, or discriminate? As I said, reflective practice. How will your views impact policies and how you approach policy development or the everyday practice of policy? Or as we move to examine policies, as we move to examine policies and social issues in education, I want you to intentionally be aware of your views. Okay? I want you to be reflective and reflexive. And I use the word reflexive because it goes a deeper level. It pushes back at you. It makes you really be honest about who you are and self-examine about your views. And most of all, I want you to engage your peers as you unpack these issues. Engage in very crucial conversations. Don't be scared to talk. Don't be scared. This is where we do this. I'm not into the delicate discussion where everybody's afraid to offend, so you don't share your views. This is a learning process for us. We want us to walk away understanding more. Be open to new and different perspectives. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to actually create a video about, I wanted to create a little chat video with you all concerning how we engage within the discussion some more, to pull more out of you, because I don't want you to just agree and nod and smile. That's not what we are here for. We are here to grow. So the truth is, that is the reason why we are here in school, right? So I want you to think about that. And as we talk about these social issues, I want you to be very much aware that they're going to be revealing. So the issues will open a Pandora box in the class and at your school as you deal with issues like these. I want you to be mentally and emotionally and academically, of course, prepared. You know, some of these are going to make you uncomfortable. Some of these are really uncomfortable discussions, not just in class, but when you go out. Because some of you have major jobs. Some of you have very big impact on school population. Some of you are leading workshops at school. You are leading PBs. You are on boards. You're talking. You're sharing. It's going to be uncomfortable. But you know what I like? It's also opportunity for us to grow. And how do we do this? We do this to exactly what you're doing now, to your own learning. We do this to intentional conversation. We do this to investigation, research. Courageous conversation. We're going to talk about that another time. Courageous conversation. Stakeholders involvement. Personal reflection. See what I put there? That's my big one. Personal reflection. Personal reflection. And individual action. So that's